Hello, dear children. Welcome to the first Telikilaas session of hospitality. Today we'll be discussing Unit 8, Preparing, Cooking and Presenting Food. I am Biju Joseph from Ghazi School. In today's session, we'll be covering the first section of Unit 8, Knowing the Basic Principles of Food Preparation. The lesson objectives for today's class is that you should be able to identify and explain the basic foods used in our kitchen, the basic food preparation techniques, the importance of safety and hygiene in food preparation, as well as the tools and equipments used in cooking. So I want all of you to just note down the learning objectives for today's class so that by the end of the session, you'll be able to know whether you have learned these. So I hope all of you have books with you to note down these objectives. So let's move on to the class. Let's start by looking at the basic foods and ingredients held in most kitchens. So before going into detail, I want all of you to think about the types of food available at home in your kitchen. We get different types of food at home. Before cooking, we used to bring so many different variety of food from shops, markets and all, right? So I want you to just quickly think about those different types of food. And let's see if it matches with the ones that I'm going to discuss in our session. Okay, I hope all of you have something in your mind. Let's see. Starting with meat. Meat, as you all know, we all have one or the other type of meat. The different types of meats available here in Maldives. We get beef, we get mutton, we get chicken, right? We have all these variety of meat available here in Maldives. Meat is the edible flesh and organs of animals and birds. It is rich in protein. Protein, as you all know, is a bodybuilding food, right? So meat is the general term for beef and veal from cow, lamb and mutton from sheep, right? We have chicken as well. So these are all different variety of meats available here as well. So it's nothing new. Every one of you should know this, right? We have these different variety of meat in our freezers at home. Okay, so let's move on to the next type of food, which is very common in Maldives. Fish. Fish are an excellent source of protein. So it's very good to have fish. So it's really good to have fish in your daily diet. Right here, every Maldivians have one or the other type of dish which is prepared with fish. Right. So we get fish from several sources, like we get tuna from salt water, we get trout from fresh water, we have salmons, which is farmed fish, and we have different shellfish like lobsters and crab. So most of the type of fish which is shown in the picture is available here in Maldives as well. Moving on to the third one, we have vegetables. Vegetables are plants grown to be eaten. Vegetables are very rich in vitamins and minerals. So that's the reason why it is very important to include vegetables in our daily diet in order to get the required vitamins and minerals. They can be classified by the part of the plant they come from. Like, for example, carrots are considered as roots, onions and garlic as bulb, cabbage and spinach as leaf, cauliflower and broccoli as flower, and then we have cucumber and tomato as a vegetable fruit, right? So these are the different categories. This is also nothing new. Every one of you know about vegetables. It is there at home, right? We used to buy vegetables, fresh vegetables from markets or even from shops. Okay, moving on to the next one. It's fruits. Again, a very favorite food of mine. Fruit is the freshly seed container of a plant. Fruits are sources of many essential nutrients. So again, having food is very good because it gives you the essential nutrients you need to grow. Fruits are an essential part of a good diet and are classified into five main groups. Let's have a look at those five main groups. First of all, we have soft fruits like strawberries and raspberries. We have stone fruits like plums and peaches. We have hard fruits like apples and pears, citrus fruits like lemons and oranges, and then we have tropical fruits like bananas and pineapples. So these are the different classifications of fruits. So most of the fruits are available here in Maldives. So all of you have used to have this in your diet, right? Even when we go to a restaurant after our main meal, we used to order for some desserts, right? In that we get fresh fruit salads. So they use different variety of fruits in that fruit salad, which is very healthy. On number 5, we have pasta. Pasta is also commonly used here in Maldives as well as throughout the world. Pasta is a traditional food associated with Italy. It is made from durum wheat, a strong variety that is high in soluble protein called gluten. The other ingredients are water, eggs, and olive oil. So basically, if you want to make pasta, you just need wheat, eggs, olive oil, and water, right? But we used to buy the already made pasta from shops and cook it at home, right? Then we have rice. Rice is a grain and it is a cereal crop that is obtained from a variety of cultivated grass. Rice is the main food crop for half of the world's population. The main nutritional ingredient is carbohydrate. So basically, it's a food to fill you up. So again, it's a very common food. Most of the people in the world use rice. And then we get different variety of rice as well here, right? We get basmati rice. We have the corn, the normal rice here. We have the white rice. So different variety of rice is also available here in Maldives. Then we have eggs and dairy. So under eggs and dairy, we can consider even eggs as a dairy produced from a catering perspective. In case of cooking, most of the times we use the hen's egg, but eggs from the ducks are also being used for cooking. Dairy is a general term for milk and the products produced from milk such as cream, butter, cheese, and yogurt. So you all know that these are the products available here. We all use these, and then these cream, butter, cheese, as well as yogurts are all made from milk. Again, a product which is very much familiar to all of us. Moving on to the last type of food, is pulses. Pulses of peas, beans, and lentils. They are also known as legumes. They are very high in protein and dietary fiber and are widely used in Asian and vegetarian cookeries. So it is also very good to include pulses in your diet in order to get the required protein as well as dietary fiber. So that's all about different types of food. So I hope all of you understood there is nothing new in this. We already knew about all these type of food, right? So before I move on to the next topic, I want all of you to just think about the type of food that we have discussed. So if you have noted it down, it will be easier for you. Others, please think about the type of food that we have discussed. We started, okay, anyway, I'm giving you some time to think about the type of foods. We just discussed about 8 different types of food. Okay, I hope all of you have something in your mind, right? We started with meat, fish, fruits and vegetables, rice, pasta, eggs and dairy products, and then at last we discussed about pulses, right? So that's all about different types of food. Let's move on to our next topic. So here we will discuss about preparing food, right? Preparing food prior to cooking is a technical activity that requires care and attention from staff in the kitchen. Staff in the kitchen, who are they known as? They are known as chefs, right? Or we even call them cook. Usually, chefs are professionals who complete their professional course in order to become chef, right? So they will know all these details of weighing and measuring food. Chefs need to understand the basic weights and measures. Why? So that they can follow the instructions given in recipes successfully, right? So they usually, in professional outlets like hotels and restaurants, they follow certain recipes. So in order to follow those recipes, they should know these weighing and measurements. Otherwise, they will not be able to take. There are different tools used to measure or weigh the ingredients required. So in that case, the chef will have the basic understanding about these weights and measurements in order to follow the recipes well, as in order to get better food or good tasty dish. Okay, food preparation techniques. So before food can be cooked, it often needs to undergo some preparation, right? What are the preparations needed? Basically, in case of simple foods, it is easy. In case of some complex dish, it is going to be difficult. So let's discuss about that. So for some food, this can be quite a basic task. As I said earlier, for example, let's discuss the case of salads. Okay, so what do you need to make a salad? If it is a vegetable salad, you need to just wash the ingredients like the vegetables and then cut it into pieces, and that's all, right? Your salad is done. So it's so easy and it's less time consuming. But on the other hand, we have more complex dishes such as pizzas and all. So in case of pizzas, the preparation can be more involved, and you may need to even grate, peel, chop or dice food items before cooking can take place. So these terms, grating, peeling and chopping, might be new for most of you, but some of you might know this, right? Anyway, we will be discussing about this in detail in our next slide. Okay, so as I said, there are different techniques used to make different food. So starting from simple techniques to most common techniques, right? There are complex dishes as well as simple dishes. So the techniques used will differ based on the type of food that we prepare. You need to know the basic preparation techniques used in the kitchen in order to make good dish. Let's discuss about peeling. Peeling, as you can see in the picture, it's removing the outer skin or layers from fruit and vegetables such as potatoes and apples. In the picture, person is peeling off the skin from a potato, right? In order to peel off the skin, usually we use a vegetable peeler, or even you can peel off the skin using a small cook's knife. So it's a process that we all have seen at home, right? Basically, when you cook, if you have potatoes or carrots used, you usually peel off the skin first. So the process all of you might know, but then the term used for this is peeling. Moving on, second one is chopping. Chopping is cutting large food items into smaller pieces for cooking, when used as an ingredient in a recipe or even for eating, right? For example, you need a large knife or a handheld chopper or even a food processor to chop the food. As you can see in the picture, a person is chopping carrots, right? In case of carrots, obviously, first of all, you need to peel off the skin from carrot and then chop it into smaller pieces to use it in a recipe or even to eat it raw, right? Moving on to the third part, it is grating. Grating is a process to reduce the density of foods such as cheese and carrots when used as toppings on pizzas and salads. So the equipment needed is a hand grater or even a food processor. Okay, usually at home we have these hand graters, but in professional outlets they might have food processors because they do it in large scale, right? For us, hand grater is enough as we do it on a smaller scale, right? You might all know this. We used to grate cheese in order to put it on top of pizzas, right? We used to grate carrots in order to use it in salads. So it's basically making the food item small, which is easy for us to consume. Okay. Moving on to the last part, it's about seasoning. Seasoning is just to improve the flavor of the food, or in order to enhance the flavor of the food or improve the taste of the food, we have to season it. Let's talk about an example of making salads. Okay, earlier also we discussed that in order to make salads you have to just wash your fruits or vegetables and then cut it into smaller pieces and you're done, right? But then that may not taste good. In order to taste well, you have to add salt or pepper into it, so that will taste well and it will give you a good flavor to that particular dish. So that is about seasoning. Okay, our next topic is about the importance of safety and hygiene in your cooking area. So attention to safety and hygiene is very important in food preparation. Raw food can easily become contaminated with germs and bacteria during preparation. This can even cause food poisoning. Food that is delivered to the kitchen by suppliers must be carefully checked by chefs to ensure that it is fresh and safe to bring into the kitchen. So it's the responsibility of the chef to carefully examine the food which is being delivered to your kitchen. So the chefs are responsible to check the smell. Everything must smell fresh. Look for insects or damage on fruit and vegetables. Inspect all packaging such as containers, packets, jars, bottles and boxes. Packaging must not be damaged, right? And check for any use by dates on the packaging. So it should not be expired, right? So the expiry date should be checked. If it is even nearing expiry, you have to return it. So it's a responsibility of the chef to maintain safety and hygiene in the work area or in the kitchen. So that starts from the time you receive the delivery of food. So that's a very important part you have to keep in mind. Now we have come to the last topic of today's session, which is tools and equipments. Tools and equipments used in our kitchen. So we have divided it into two parts, starting with small scale equipments. Okay, so under small scale equipments we have knives, garlic crushers and kitchen scissors. As you can see in the images, knives, different types of knives are used by different chefs, right? That's a basic tool you need in a kitchen. Then you have garlic crusher. It used to crush garlics into smaller pieces or paste. And then we have kitchen scissors, which is a multi-using tool that you can use it for different ways. You can use it in different ways. Like for example, you can cut fish with that. You can crush hard items with that. You can open the bottleneck. You can cut other food items. It can be used for several other ways as well. It can be used in several other ways. So it's a very useful tool to have in our kitchen. Moving on, we have the large scale equipments. Large scale equipments are many mechanical devices that can be used in the kitchen to help with food preparation. So I have just selected few large scale equipments which is very familiar here to all of you. Most of these type of equipments are available at home, starting with microwave oven. Microwave oven is usually used to reheat the already prepared cook or grill our chicken or any other items in order to bake our cakes or anything which, like for example, cupcakes or cakes, or even to make pizzas, we use our microwave oven, right? Then we have rice is used to cook rice at home. So most of us have seen, right, how rice is being cooked in a rice cooker. And then at last we have an electric mixer. Electric mixer is used in order to mix the ingredients. For example, in order to make a cake, this is very important because all the ingredients needs to be mixed very well. By using our hand, we cannot mix everything very well. So the electric mixer will help you to mix all those ingredients very well, and then you can put your butter to the ovens, and then your cake is ready. So that's all for today. I hope all of you have understood what we discussed in today's session. Before I wind up, I want to summarize the lesson by discussing the learning objectives for today's class. So I told you in the beginning, by the end of the session you should be able to identify the basic foods, right? I hope all of you have identified the basic foods, starting with meat, fish, vegetables, fruits, pasta, rice, eggs and dairy, and pulses, right? All of you already know about all these. Then we moved on to basic food preparation techniques, where we discussed about simple tasks as well as complex tasks in making food. We discussed about making salads, which is a very simple task, and then we discussed about making pizzas, which is kind of a complex task, right? In that we even learned about peeling, chopping, grating, and seasoning, right? I hope all of you have learned all this. And then we discussed about the importance of safety and hygiene in food preparation. That is the responsibility of a chef to check the quality of food delivered to the kitchen, like checking the smell, looking for damage, inspecting all packaging, checking the use by dates and all. At last we discussed about tools and equipments used in cooking. Under that we discussed about large scale tools and equipments as well as small scale tools and equipments. Under small scale we discussed about knives, garlic crushers, kitchen scissors, right? And under large scale equipments we discussed about microwave oven, rice cookers, and electric mixers. So that's all for today. I hope all of you have learned something in today's session. Until we see in the next class, it's goodbye from me. Thank you.